door and let those children down, because we as adults will be letting our children down, and I'm not going to do that.
As the government shutdown enters a second month, the effects are being felt in more and more places. Earlier this week, the Families First Center of North Mississippi notified all of its partners they'd be forced to close their doors and suspend the activities at their centers. In Starkville, the Emerson Family School and J.L. King centers are being hard hit. Our Quentin Smith speaks with workers at the center about the sudden closures. So, Quentin, how are the faculty and students taking this news?
Well, Scott, they're heartbroken and devastated. Faculty received a letter on Tuesday saying that after today, they would have to put a stop to all of their services because they won't be receiving any more funds from the government due to the shutdown. However, workers say they're not going to close their doors. Instead, they're going to fight back.
Due to the partial federal government shutdown, our subgrant with you must be terminated effective immediately.
As L. Marie Carr Brooks reads a disheartening letter saying that Emerson Family School and J.L. King must now close their doors, a sense of devastation and disbelief starts to set in.
We have parents that come here every evening. You see the parents out here now. They're here every evening trying to improve, trying to expose their children, trying to do, they are volunteering, just trying to do better. And then you say, shut it down? You can't do that.
The J.L. King Center is a popular spot for positive after-school activities. Students do their homework, read books, and they even learn computer skills. However, the government shutdown is now putting all of that in jeopardy.
You hear the chatter in there. You know those kids are happy. And you know the people they're working with, they're happy. And they're benefiting, they're profiting from it. So why would you even think that you can write a letter in one day and say, discontinue that? That's just, it's just mean. It's just absolutely mean.
Both Emerson and King received funds from the Department of Human Services. However, those funds are now fizzling out and they won't receive any more after Thursday. But despite this setback, Brooks says she cares too much about her students and she refuses to let that stop her.
I'm not going to close the door and let those children down.
Instead, she's going to fight back. Brooks says she's going to do whatever she can to keep the doors open, even if it means finding volunteers to come in and donate their time and services to the center.
We refuse to do that. Whether the funding is from Families First for Mississippi or whoever is, I mean, we cannot, absolutely, we cannot close our doors today.
Now, tomorrow morning, Brooks is holding a public meeting with stakeholders and community members to discuss ideas for continuing their services. That meeting will be at 10:30 at the J.L. King Center, and it is open to the public. Scott?
All right, thank you very much, Quentin. A very emotional toll this is bringing to some folks. Well, two agencies in Lowndes County, they're coming together to help local government workers throughout this shutdown. The Lowndes County United Way and Building Bridges of Hope are collecting gas cards, retail and restaurant gift cards to donate to workers who are furloughed. They're also accepting cash donations. Community Outreach Coordinator Glenda Buckhalter says that all donations will be used to assist workers. Anyone wanting to donate cards or cash can call Glenda directly. There's her number, or the Lowndes County United Way. In Washington, the White House says President Trump will not accept a short-term deal to reopen the government unless it includes a large down payment on his promised border wall. The president says negotiations are underway as the debate on the Senate floor continues. CBS's Nicole Killian has the latest from Capitol Hill.
On the floor of Congress and at the White House, a new idea has been floated to end the partial government shutdown now in its 34th day.
One of the ideas suggested is they open it, they pay a sort of a prorated down payment for the wall.
President Trump says Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer met behind closed doors, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is rejecting the idea of a wall down payment.
The shutdown is not a glitch. It is a crisis that the president alone created and that the president alone can end.
Earlier, the Senate voted on 2 plans to end the government shutdown. Both failed. Now a bipartisan group is working to craft a compromise.
The folks that I work for back home are telling me very clearly, enough already. We don't care if you have messaging votes. We want to know, what are you going to do to get the government back open?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now says she's willing to meet face-to-face with President Trump to try to break the impasse. Thursday, the president's commerce secretary faced criticism for questioning why furloughed workers need food banks on CNBC.
Well, I know they are, and I don't really quite understand why. The 30 days of pay that some people will be out, there's no real reason why they shouldn't be able to get a loan against it.
800,000 federal workers are set to miss a second paycheck Friday on day 35 of the partial government shutdown. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, last night, the president agreed to delay his State of the Union address at Speaker Pelosi's request. He also backed off a plan to make the address from another location. The president cannot give a speech to a joint session of Congress unless the House and Senate pass a resolution setting the time and date. Time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our Thursday night forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, lots of sunshine today. Same story tomorrow, but it will be a bit of a chilly start. We've got 20s in the forecast, 20s and teens, likely for wind chills in the morning, 30s and 40s as we go throughout the course of the afternoon. Temperatures right now for the most part in the 30s. We have a front slipping on through. It's a dry front, but there are some clouds out there, and that's about it for tonight. Speaking of those wind chills, tomorrow morning about 7 o'clock, low 20s, even a few teens out there. So just be prepared for that as you venture on out for your commute to work and for school. Around 40, give or take here, a little bit warmer to the south, but a lot of sun here across the Twin States on Friday. Back with the weekend forecast, plus a look ahead at some colder air for next week in just a few minutes.
State leaders are starting to discuss ways to help not just children, but whole families. That's where the connection between child care and jobs is coming into play. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Child care providers see the needs in their communities across the state.
Small communities, most times there's no place for them to do, so there are no activities for them, and I'd rather see them with me than to see them walk the streets and get into trouble.
But it comes with a cost that's often too much for low-income families. Yet there are newfound allies in the push to make child care more accessible to Mississippi families.
For low-income families on the path of self-sufficiency.
Governor Bryant and the Mississippi Economic Council have recently discussed the role child care can play in boosting the state's workforce. The Low-Income Child Care Initiative says that role is important, but they want to dig deeper.
We have about 100,000 kids in Mississippi who qualify for child care, and we're serving anywhere between 18 and 20,000 children at a time. So you see, we've still got a lot of eligible children who need this help.
One requirement was put in place by the state, but not federally required, and the group wants it gone.
Single moms have to initiate a legal action against the absent parent for child support before they can qualify to get child care. And the reason that's a problem is because it's a deterrent for single moms. It's not required for Head Start. It's not required for pre-K. So we don't think it should be required for child care.
She says that's enough to deter many single parents from even trying to get the vouchers and keep working. They're also hoping the state will make a consistent commitment to putting up the state match for the federal money available for the Child Care Assistance Program. Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Developing today, 3 people are accused of helping a Webster County inmate escape. Elton Neal Gordon and Jonathan Cisco, they're both charged with aiding an escape. Now, Destiny Cooper, she's charged with concealing or harboring a prisoner. Bond was denied for Gordon and Cisco. Cooper's bond was set at $20,000. Investigators believe Cooper and Anthony Logan were in a relationship. Now, we first reported last night Logan was arrested in Choctaw County. He had been on the run for 3 days. Logan will be taken to a state prison in the next few days for a burglary conviction. A stolen car and high-speed chase spans the Golden Triangle and it ends at a West Point truck stop. The pursuit started on Highway 82 in Lowndes County. A deputy followed the red Hyundai onto Highways 45, alternate, and 182, then into Octabaha County. The chase then went back into Lowndes County and up 45 alternate Officers eventually tracked down the vehicle at Love's truck stop in West Point. Lowndes County investigators say the driver and passenger, along with the juvenile, are in custody. The car was reported stolen out of South Carolina, and the driver has at least one warrant for his arrest. The incident remains under investigation, and more information could be released tomorrow.
30s right now across our region. As we get into tomorrow, we've got some 30s and some 40s, cooler north, warmer south. But as we get into your Saturday, look at this, we should be back up to around 50. Your full forecast is next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Bitterly cold air up here across the high plains. -6 in Minneapolis, -10 in Bismarck, North Dakota. Cold air up to the north. Not that bad down here. We're still in the 30s, but eventually we'll be cooling things off later on tonight, and a bigger shot of some colder air next week. 35 in Columbus, 36 in Tupelo, 34 Starkville, and 37 up in Memphis. That's the current situation we have. Lows tonight down into the mid and upper 20s. Later on, the wind's going to pick up just a tad, so the wind chills likely down into the 20s, low 20s, and even a few teens across our region. So just plan on a chilly start to our Thursday, as we just talked about. Here's your Alpha Insurance Camera Network, our time lapses from Louisville, Mississippi, Vernon, Durham's Pharmacy, Tupelo, and Columbus. Lots of sun today. Some high cirrus clouds coming on in as the afternoon wore on, and that foreshadows this little front that's coming on in right now. We can see that with the satellite imagery. Just a few wispy cirrus clouds and some patches of some mid-level clouds here. No moisture in this. And basically, when you wake up tomorrow, we should be mostly sunny. So this activity slips through tonight. And here's our Friday. Widespread sunshine with a slightly cooler air mass. So we're thinking some 30s to low 40s north, a shot at some low to maybe mid 40s across our southern counties. But it will be a chilly day for us. Fortunately, we'll have a lot of sunshine, and if you're sheltered from that breeze, it won't be that bad. Just a chilly day across our region. 31 in Nashville tomorrow, around 50 in Jackson. Mid-50s right along the Gulf Coast. Farther north, as we mentioned, right now it's cold. Tomorrow it's going to be cold, teens and single digits above and below zero here. So that's what's going to be up there, and eventually we will have some of that chilly air, frigid air, let's just say, come back down here into the deep south, because we're going to have an Arctic front come on in here sometime Monday night. And with that front, cold air, yes, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of some frozen precip. So let me show you the weekend. We do have some cloudiness moving on through the region, and we may see a little bit of moisture here Saturday and Sunday, but not a lot will actually reach the ground. A lot of clouds perhaps, but not a lot of moisture. There's the Arctic front gathering strength on Monday afternoon. We'll be mild. I think we are going to go up to around 60 or 61 degrees on Monday after these 50s for the weekend. And then there's that little jolt of some Arctic air as we get into your Tuesday. It is winter. This is typically the coldest part of the year, and we're looking at some very cold air for the middle to end of next week. Could be a bit wintry there Tuesday morning. We'll keep you updated.
Hail State Hoops makes a road trip to Gator Country. Did they feel the bite? Tom takes a look later in sports.
Watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Every 3 seconds, someone is in need of blood. Here's more on the importance of blood donation in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kilburn, medical technologist and supervisor of the blood bank at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. I want to talk to you about some facts about donating blood. Did you know that just 1 pint of blood can help save up to 3 lives? Donating blood is safe and easy. It is a sterile procedure, and you cannot contract any diseases from donating. You must be 16 years old or older and weigh at least 110 pounds to qualify as a donor. Here at Baptist Golden Triangle, we hold a United Blood Services blood drive every 3 months. Here are some tips for getting through the donation process faster. Bring personal identification, preferably an ID that has your picture and full name. Some acceptable forms of ID include a driver's license, work or school ID, or passport. Bringing along your blood donor card will help you get through the registration process quickly. If you don't have one, please ask the staff to order one for you. Bring a list of all countries, cities, or areas you have visited with dates in the past 12 months. Wear a top with loose-fitting sleeves so that you can get your blood pressure checked. Make an appointment. Donors with appointments are taken before walk-ins. To make an appointment, visit the website unitedbloodservices.org. Be a donor, make a difference. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
And you can be a donor and make a difference tomorrow. Baptist is having a blood drive tomorrow morning at the Outpatient Conference Center, starting at 11:30 in the morning to 5:30 that evening. Hail State Hoops on the road in Gainesville, and they were anything but nice to the hosting Gators. Highlights are coming up next in sports.
Sports with Tom Ebel.
In the past 5 meetings, Mississippi State women's basketball has owned the Florida Gators, winning the past 4 by more than 30 points. And nothing changed on Thursday night. Hail State Hoops on the road in Gainesville. Ariel Howard would have herself a ball game, but the first highlight pretty much puts this game in a nutshell. Tierra McCowan with an emphatic swat. McCowan would finish with more blocks than points in this one. And then the first quarter would belong to Ariel Howard. It's her show. Breamber Scott finds Howard in the corner. Just pulls up. Nice jumper there. Nothing but nylon for 2. And just the beginning, fantastic ball movement from Mississippi State. Everyone getting a touch. Nice kick out from Tierra McCowan to Ariel Howard for the 3 ball. As you see, Mississippi State just pouring it on. Howard one more time. Drives baseline, spins to the middle. Nice move. A little bit of a fade there. Nice jumper. Has Mississippi State up by almost 20. And just for some icing on the cake, Howard off the inbounds play gets the lob to go. In the first quarter, it'd be Ariel Howard 12, Florida 9. Howard would finish with 21 points. Bulldogs cruise and crush Florida 90-42. Ole Miss looking to extend its win streak to 3 on the road at Vanderbilt. Rebels with the lead in the second. Crystal Allen adding to it with a quick triple there. She'd finish with 20 points in this one, but Vandy not going anywhere. Lily Carter drives and kicks to Kaylee Clemens Green in the corner. The lefty with the smooth triple. Vanderbilt takes its biggest lead of the game, but Ole Miss battles back. Defensive lapse for Vanderbilt, leaving Chandrika Sessom all alone for the triple. Rattles in, and she'll take all 3 of those. The land of plenty working for Ole Miss in the first half. Crystal Allen, again from deep. Nice action, drive and kick out. There's Allen for the triple. Nothing but nylon on that one. Ole Miss makes it a 5-point game at halftime, but the Commodores would pull away in the third quarter. Nice high-low action for Vanderbilt. Mariella Fasula with the nice layup for 2. Ole Miss hasn't won in Nashville since January 1987. That streak continues. Vandy wins 80-68. Some JUCO rivalry hoops. ICC taking on EMCC. We'll start with the ladies first. Columbus's Kaylin Wilson corrals the loose ball, battles inside. Nice finish off the window for 2 plus the harm. ICC up 13, but EMCC trying to come back. That's West Point's Amaya Rush for the short corner J. It's an 8-point ICC lead. It'd be a 10-point lead after 3, but fourth quarter ICC pulling away. Keely Wilson with the soft touch from the elbow jumper for 2. And then Sarah Berryman from Belmont on the break. Layup for 2. Nice finish. ICC up 20. They get the win 77-56. Let's run it back with the boys. Same thing. ICC, EMCC. ICC jumps up on top. Here, Darius Agnew. Starkville native for 2. Indians with the early lead, but here comes New Hope's Terriante Thomas. Grown man take. Nice finger roll finish off the window. Ties the ball game early. EMCC again. Terriante Thomas just going to pull up from 3. Got to get a hand in his face or he'll make you pay. EMCC able to pull away and get the W in this one, 68-64. Narrow ball game, but EMCC gets the win. Northeast defeating Mississippi Delta. This is all the boys' side. Barn burner, 93-90. Denzel McDuffie leading with 18 points. And then on the women's side, Northeast gets the sweep over Delta, 65-52. Ripley's Deja Rogan finishing with 21. A barn burner going down in Vernon tonight. Some rivalry hoops. Sullivan, Lamar County. Let's get it popping. Kaylee Hassel down low. Hassels for the bull double. She gets the low post jumper to go. Later in the first, Sullivan's ball. Natalie Hollis, one dribble pull up off the window for 2. And then Lamar County responds. Ashley Butler drains the corner triple. Now in the second quarter, Beasley finds Hassel again in the post. See another turnaround jumper, gets it to go. Folks in Vernon would get some free basketball in overtime. Sullivan's Shania Johnson hits this jumper, and the Blue Devils go on the win 46-44 in OT. Then for the boys, first quarter. Nice action here early on. Wise full court pass to Cribbs. A nice finish inside later in the first. Wise, we got to get the nutmeg in. Give me the nutmeg bucket. Wise to Cunningham. Hey, that's a nice dish for two. Sullivan sweeps Lamar County 64-6. Or Lamar County gets the win in that one, 69-64. That's it for sports. Weather is next.
A sunny day for tomorrow, Scott, but we do have some cooler weather next week. The weekend will get through a 61 Monday, but don't get used to it because winter is coming on back.
So really kind of enjoy this weekend because it looks kind of nice.
It's going to be cold next weekend.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.